I prepare these questions and actions and objections and comeback script for us to discuss about it. Because last week I played the video clip, so we all heard about it. So I gave you a homework to think about what is your answers. But today I see more Korean members here. Okay. Anyway, so everybody have been difficulty recruiting new members, right? So for example, Maria approached 30 contacts, but all declined, citing skepticism about Atomy. That's example one. Are you familiar with this kind of complaint? Example two, John hesitates to talk about Atomy, fearing judgment from friends. So let's say if your partners saying these things, oh, hey, it's difficult to recruit new members because I approached 30 people, but they were skeptical about Atomy and they all declined. Or anybody says, hey, I'm hesitant to talk about Atomy because I'm afraid that what if my friends will judge me? So I'm afraid to talk about it at all. Then what would you say to them? And there's resources. The book is called Go for No by Richard Fenton and Andrea Wirtz. So maybe you can look for this book in your country to read. I went to the library, look for this book, and they didn't have the book in that site. So they are searching the book and they said they'll contact me once they get the book. So I'm planning to read this book. So any comments about this difficulty recruiting new members? What would you suggest to your partners if they say this? Yes, Daniel?
Okay. Hello everyone. Okay, the question number one is there that I think that Maria approached the 30 contact, but I don't know how she contacts. Maybe she contact by a phone call, or maybe she go to somewhere and then meet people face to face. I don't know, but actually Atomy is a business that meets and share. So I prefer face to face. People face to face, of course, you have to call for them and then meet and then set a time for appointment. But Adam is a business that meets and share. So first, you better go there and meet people. And then second thing is that I believe a lot of people thinking about the network marketing business is a negative side, right? So let's say when you meet people when you meet your friend, that friend asks you like this, hey, what do you do like that kind of very bad network marketing business, something like that? And then I suggest to you, first, you have to listen first. Listen carefully. Okay, let's talk. And then after listen, you have to answer back. Why are you thinking about that? What do you know about their network marketing business? And then any people who around you, they got a big damage from the network marketing business, something like that kind of question. And then they give you all the answer, what you need. And then listen carefully. And then after that, you ask about the simple question from his talking. So that's the, I believe that's the good way to when we meet a kind of very negative about the network marketing business people. So please listen carefully. Listen first and then talk later. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I would say, for example, one, usually, everything is statistics, right? If she approached 30 people, and all declined, 100% of 30 people declined, maybe she did something wrong. Maybe it was
Yeah.
her attitude, or maybe yeah, like usually Pareto's law, at least 20% people should say at least yes. So if 100% 30 contacts decline, maybe she needs to think about the way how she introduced Atomy to them. So if any of my partners said that statement, I would say, how did you contact them? Can you demonstrate to me? Like, let's do some role play, I would say, because that's definitely something was wrong. Otherwise, it's very rare to get no for 100%. And the example 2, anybody have any comment?
Jennifer,
Yes.
so going back to Maria, how is she contacting them? Cold calling, or we're talking about contacts within her network or family,
Yeah,
friends? What were the
yeah,
contacts?
I think so. This is just example, so we don't have the details. That's why if any of my partners said I contact 30 people of my friends or family and they all declined, then I will say, how did you introduce Atomy? I will ask Maria for her to demonstrate in front of me. And then maybe then I can see what was missing, or what was too much information, or what was her attitude. I will say that. We don't know. This is example, so we don't know the details. It's not real. It's just a scenario. And example 2, John hesitates to talk about Atomy, fearing judgment from friends. If any of your partner is afraid to talk about Atomy, what would you suggest?
My suggestion is that they practice what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Right,
Okay.
right,
Watch the videos on YouTube and Atomy America or wherever. But get the information, evaluate it, and then practice talking about what you want to say. But don't overflow the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Daniel says, listen.
Mm-hmm.
But don't be afraid to say, hey, do you know Atomy? I'm using this. Do you brush your teeth in the morning? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only suggestion I have for you.
Mm-hmm.
Come back and study up a little bit, practice. That's what the centers are for. Get to your center manager, have them help you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's my answer. Thank you.
Thank you. I will say, if you are casual, they'll take it casually. If you are too serious, too intent, then maybe people will say, hey, oh, wow. So in my experience, whenever I talked about Atomy very, very casually, naturally, people took it more naturally and casually. And more likely they say, oh, really? Let me see. Let me try, like that. So that's my case. So I will suggest that. And piggybacking Bill's comments, I will say, let's practice. If you are not ready, you can listen to videos, but watching video can help you. But also you need to practice So I would suggest to have a role play. And somebody suggested, I also suggest that, why don't you record when you are doing role play? Then after you watch your role play from your phone, then you it'll help you to practice. And after you practice enough, then maybe you feel more confident. And try to be casual, try to be more natural. Then people will take more naturally. Any other comments?
Yes. Okay. I want to add some. So, okay. I suggest to you, please do not contact before you're ready. It's very important, okay? So first, you have to plug into the system and then learn about something about the Atomy. And then after that, you have to choose the people from your name list with your sponsor. Do not go alone. That's very important, okay? So first, you have to learn. And then after that, you have to write down your name list and then choose the people with your sponsor. Then maybe your fear is going to be much less. And then finally, you can easily contact people and then you can recruit people. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, the way I do it is I have samples with me. So I carry with, let's say, the coffee and the vitamin C. That's very easy. And today I was at a birthday party and I was like, hey, guys, you want coffee? Oh, we don't have a coffee machine. I said, that's okay. Let's get hot water. And they were like, oh, this is really good. So where'd you get this? And that's when I opened the conversation.
Right.
So I think samples or just sharing. One, I gave vitamin C. I said, taste it. And they were like, oh, this was really cool and convenient to carry with you. And I actually learned this, from, my sponsors, obviously, Jen and Julie. But it's great to just, say, here, try this. I think it opens a conversation to if you have a group of friends with you or family.
Yeah. Yeah, great. Thank you, Edna. Right, it's a great. Since we have a vitamin C, probiotics, coffee in a sachet, easy to hand out. And did you hear Edna's sound? She sounded very natural, very casual, right? So people will take it very casually and naturally. And that's the key, I believe. And I will suggest Maria to take a break with those 30 people, but periodically contact them again as she gets more confident, as she gets more experience, and she can contact them later on. Like, I have to tell you about my story. My sister joined me in 2010, and periodically she contacted me to be interested in this business. I was never, ever, ever interested in the business, even though I was using the product. But she never gave up on me. Periodically, she kept contacting me over and over for 4 years. So after 4 years, finally, I went to the one-day seminar for the first time and got very interested in this business. So please don't ever give up on your contacts, even though they said no to you, even they declined your suggestion. Please go back to them after a while. Okay? Okay. So we have 5 objections and comeback script the company provided. But before I reveal the company's comeback script, I want you to think about and I want you to share your comeback script, and then I will reveal the company comeback script. So the objection 1 is this one of those pyramid schemes? This is a very, very famous line that we hear all the time, right?
Yes.
I'm sure there's nobody who haven't heard this line. So what would you say? What's your answer?
Well, I don't disagree that people might think that way.
Mhm.
But today in the news, Justin Bieber's wife, right? They were putting how she became a billionaire, millionaire, whatever, on her skin products.
Mm.
But she didn't get that by herself, right? She had to get people to buy her skin products, and this one buying it and that one buying it. Whether it's a business or a person,
Mhm.
it's a stepping business. Obviously, if you want to call it a pyramid because it looks like a pyramid, that's different. But if you look at all businesses,
Mm.
your networks are your pyramids. Your networks are your stepping people, the stepping stones that each, it's like a ladder, right? You gotta
Mhm.
go up the ladder. So you
Mm.
have to bring people behind you too. You have to raise people, even in business. Succession planning is a pyramid, right? You put people in place to succeed in certain positions. So I just bring to them when they say, and it sounds like a pyramid, I don't think it's a scheme, which I
Mhm.
say to them, that's a word that you should remove.
Mhm.
But everything in life is a pyramid. We all raise each other, right, to the top if we can.
Right.
Thank you very much, Edna. Yeah.
Mhm. Right.
Okay, well, what I would do is on the question number one, when I hear this, do you know what a pyramid scheme actually is?
Mm.
Okay, most pyramid schemes are based upon recruitment of people, getting paid for that recruitment, and the more you recruit, the more you get paid. It's not for the benefit of selling a product or a good or a service. So that's my definition of a pyramid scheme. Now, Edna brought up a very good point. Corporate America is full of pyramids.
Right.
First of all, you got a CEO or chairman of the board. Then you got directors, and then underneath directors, you have assistants. Under the assistants, you got foremen or general foremen, or they call them supervisors. Then you got the workers, and out of the workers, you got work leaders. But
Mhm.
how that pyramid keeps going like that, that's a real pyramid. So when the people ask me about this one, I'm ready for it. And the bottom line is just have a simple answer that says, hey, a pyramid scheme doesn't sell a good or a service, it's get paid for recruiting membership. That's the simplest answer I have.
Right. Right. Great. Yes. Thank you. Okay. So then let's see what was the company provide the comeback script. Okay. I totally understand your concern. I used to think the same thing until I looked into it more. Atomy is actually a global distribution company that partners with one of Korea's most respected biotech manufacturers. There's no joining fee, no monthly ownership required, and no mandatory buying. We just share high quality products that people already use, like toothpaste, shampoo, and health supplements, but at wholesale prices. The best part is you earn points and commissions when others also shop. Would you be open to watching a 5-minute intro to see how it really works? I like this comeback script because the first thing it says, I totally understand your concern. And I used to think the same thing until I looked into it more. So when somebody object to Atomy, saying, "Oh, isn't it a pyramid schemes like that?" If you said, "No, it's not pyramid," do you even know what is pyramid like that? Then they might feel like offended. Then their voice will be higher. Like they'll have a strong opinion. But when you agree with them and accept their comment or their feelings, then they are more uh, relaxed and easy to take the information you are going to say. So whatever objection you encounter, I suggest you to agree with them first or validate their concerns first. You don't have to agree, but at least you can validate their concerns or objections. Okay. And as Bill says, the whole society is pyramid, right? Think about Amazon. And when I used to work at the hospital, oh my God, I swear, God, I really worked hard. And I had very good reputation by my coworkers that I'm a very hard worker. But I'm sure our CEO didn't even know that I existed. He had no idea who's Jennifer Lim. And he was making much more money than I was. And I couldn't even be late more than 6 minutes because I get deduct. If I leave the work 1 hour later, 2 hours later, nobody cared. But if I was 6 minutes late, then I was deducted. So the whole society, the corporation of America is all pyramid. But Atomy is not pyramid because there's a ceiling, right? And same opportunity, equal opportunity for everyone. And Atomy is definitely not pyramid. Ki Young Choi said in Korean meeting, he said, there's no risk, zero risk. Nobody's taking advantage of anybody in Atomy. So it's only win-win. Nobody lose anything. So thank you, everyone. So let's move on to the next question. Okay. This is the best line too. Very famous line too. I'm not a good sales person. I can't sell. We hear that all the time. What would you say?
Well, I ask you if they share movies with somebody or a good restaurant, something like that. Oh yeah, I saw this movie. They're telling you all about it. Well, you're just trying to sell me on this movie. What do you mean you're not a good salesman? You don't have to sell somebody something. You just have to be honest, open, and have integrity behind it. And just be normal. But if you try to sell somebody something, they're going to turn away from you. Okay, that's my perspective on this objection here. And if you're not a good salesperson, that's okay. Nobody's perfect.
Right.
Because if you were perfect, then you wouldn't be telling me you're not good. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
And Jay? Jay?
Hi. I would say I cannot sell that either. I used to work at that sales job. I didn't even sell. Anyway, sell yourself, buy yourself. Because of compare with other product, if you like it, it's good quality, then sell to yourself. So which means everybody sell to yourself. That would have been better, right?
Right.
Okay.
My best line is, I always say, Atomy is not about selling. Atomy is all about buying. It's a buying business, not selling business.
I want to share my PPT screen. Okay, this is the title is the essence of Atomy business. Okay, what is that? Look at that. This is the buy and sell, right? Purchase and sale. Atomy is purchasing business. Atomy is not about the selling product. It starts with each person purchasing daily necessary for their home through Atomy. That's the Atomy business. And then I give one more. Then when you buy from the Atomy, you can get a two good results. First, you save your family living cost, and then you can generate income from everyday consumption activities. Living expenses are saved and income is generated at the same time.
Yeah.
And then one day, we have become free. So this is the answer: a new distribution model where consuming becomes commission, about $100,000 per month. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Exactly. So, I want to make a comment. Right before I show you the company's comeback script. I like that too. But actually, just between you and just between us, right? Everything is selling. Doctors selling, dentists is selling, lawyers are selling.
Yes.
Nowadays, actually, everything is selling. But let me show you the companies come back. Script. Okay. If somebody said, I can't sell, I'm not a good salesperson, then you should say, that's exactly why Atomy works so well for you. You don't need to be a traditional salesperson. We are more like product recommenders. You already tell friends about good movies or restaurants, right? It's the same idea, except this time you actually get rewarded when people try something you love. Plus, we have training, scripts, and product demos you can follow. If I show you how easy it is to get started, would you be open to learning more?
Yes. Yes.
So,
I mean,
I'm not good at selling. I rather give them. But that's why I'm so excited with Atomy. When I was doing Amway business in the past, I couldn't sell anything because I'm so bad at selling. I feel bad selling. And the reason I like to introduce Atomy was because it wasn't selling. I don't make any profit by giving $10 product to my customer for $10. I don't make any profit. So that's why I felt so confident to introduce for her or him to save money from good product. Okay. So the next question, next objection is,
oh,
this is a famous line too. I don't have time. Who has time nowadays?
I don't have a time, but I have a time for golf. I have a time for drink, something like that. Sorry.
Right. People don't have time for Atomy, but they have time for something else, right? But how if your partner says this, how would you say? You wanna see the companies come back? Okay. Okay, that makes sense. And that's actually why I studied. I didn't want to trade more time for money. You know, because we don't have money, we don't have time. We need to do Atomy to make the time. With Atomy, you can build income gradually, even in just 3 to 6 minutes a day, 30 to 60 minutes a day, using tools like WhatsApp, Zoom, KakaoTalk, and your phone. We even have a power hour method that helps busy people build part-time income without burning out. If I showed you how to fit this around your schedule, would you consider giving it a try? You know, for people who are saying that I don't have time for my from my partners, I would say I used to have a full-time job. And when I became a Leaders Club member, I had my full-time job. I was able to become a Leaders Club member while I was holding my full-time job, 40 hours a week job. I had a full-time job, but I treated Atomy as my full-time business. So I used up all the vacation days for Atomy business. I used all my weekends and evening time for Atomy business. So you can make the time, you can find the time to do Atomy as long as you have a strong willpower. And this is somebody, Alma, another leader from Florida. this was her comment script or comeback script. She said, no extra time for doing this. You don't need extra time. You can just integrate Atomy with your daily life. So I liked her comment, so that's why I included here. And I liked another gentleman's comment. He said, oh, no, his comment was for another objection. Yes, I will save it for the next one. Okay, because I was
Okay.
confused. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
I
then,
encourage you. Okay, go ahead.
yeah, any comments for this objection 3?
Yes, I want to ask some people still that, okay, look at us. This is a Zoom meeting, but people from the India, people from the Indonesia, people from the Seattle, I'm in Korea. And Roma Jennifer is in New York. Julie is in New Jersey. This is whole global. But I never went to India. And then I went to Indonesia about one time per year. And then I went to Seattle about 2 times per year, something like that. So actually, you don't need time. Okay. Nowadays, we are living in the very, very high, top-notch technology era. So you can use this Zoom, and then about an hour per day. So Atom is true global business, and then so that's why that's a really good answer. You can just integrate Atom with your daily life. Okay, I encourage you. Don't worry about it. Okay, thank you.
Yes. And until when you want to live the life like you don't have time? Warren Buffett said, if you can find a way to generate income while you are sleeping, you're going to have to work until you die, right? We don't want that. We want to do some extra atomic work so we don't have to work until we die, and we can actually make the time from this system income. So I will flip this objection to the other way around for the other person to think about. Okay, the next objection 4. I've tried MLM before, multi-level marketing before. It didn't work. Then what would you say?
Well, I would have to agree with them because, yes, we've tried several MLMs. It didn't work for one reason or the other, but mainly it didn't work because we didn't work it correctly. And the nice thing with Atomy is we have a system. We teach the system. Once you learn the system and you start using the system, you become profitable. Small amounts at first. You're not going to get rich quick in the beginning, but you can build up to Imperial Master. Atomy will show you how.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you,
Oh, you
Bill.
tried several? Okay.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so there are 2 kind of people. People who really tried MLM before, or there's people who never tried MLM before. Either way, how would you say? Anybody else? Any comeback statement you want to make?
Well, I have one more comment to make, if I may,
Mhm.
on this particular one. Study the company you want to work with. Learn about the company first, and then make your decision. You know, everybody heard my story where Arsenio signed up with Atomy before I even knew about Atomy at all. And she did, but what she did was she was asking the questions. What is Atomy? What kind of products do they have? What kind of quality do they have? What kind of compensation plan do they have? You know, how easy is it to get started? What do you need? Those were the questions she was asking. And that's what people who have never tried the MLMs before, need to find out. You can tell them about Atomy, how simple it is, things like that. But that's one of the reasons for doing Atomy. And that's why we're changing network marketing history.
Thank you. Ksenia asked those kind of questions because she was experienced. So she knew what to ask.
That's correct. She knew.
Yeah.
Well, did you give people her background just a little bit? She sold Avon for 20 years. Okay, what happened? The company changed their policy towards their members for their distributorships. Okay, less money each time. Sometimes you sold products, you got nothing for it. So she decided to find something else. We went to Zango for 10 years. Okay, yeah, we were at the bottom level. We had like 5 or 6 lines deep, but the problem was you had to have auto ship. Okay, but even before any of those started, we were with Amway through my parents. And there, I still have LOC from 30 years ago because you couldn't use it all because you had to have that auto ship requirement. And if you had products that you can't use up in a month's time, you're wasting your money. So that's what people need to understand. When you say, I've tried this before and it didn't work, say, hey, I understand. I've been there. But here's the difference between MLMs and Atomy. That's the key. Tell them the difference.
Thank you, Bill. Yes, for my case, I have so much to talk about this objection because I have personal experience with other MLM business, which is Amway. And I had filed bankruptcy after 4.5 years of Amway business. And I became a Leaders Club member after 4.5 years with Atomy, exactly the same time. So I have so much to talk about it. So if any of your friends or family says this, please introduce those people to me. Then I'll deal with them. Okay? If you cannot deal with them by yourself. So let's see what is the company comeback script. That's totally fair. I've heard that a lot. The difference with Atomy is that it's zero cost to join. There's no required monthly purchases. And the company is 100% debt-free and product-driven. Our model rewards both consumers and builders through a binary system that pays down to infinity. So your efforts don't go to waste. If you could try again with a better support system and better products, would you be open to a second look? So this is the company comeback script. And I will say, this is, okay. Since time's up, we are going to end here. And last week when we were watching the video clip, the question was only up to objection 4. And I quickly took they didn't talk about objection 5, but I was quick to take the screenshot, so I got the question. So I want you to think about objection 5 question for next week. I need to think about it. Okay? So if anyone, after you fully explained about Atomy, if your friend says, I need to think about it, I cannot decide, what would you say? So think about your comeback script and let's discuss next week. Okay?